Welcome back to the Pro Series Podcast. This is episode 100. I cannot believe we're here. I want to thank you all so much for supporting this. This has become such a fun hobby for me to do, and being able to interview and talk to all these people around the world have been so much fun. But this episode is going to be a really good and fun one. I recorded it last week at Vangura at the Countertop Store's grand opening in Fairmont, West Virginia. So if you're in the area, definitely go check it out. I will post some videos and photos. Actually, my reel this past weekend of the Invisa Cook was in that showroom, so definitely go check that out. So we interviewed Jenifer. She is the showroom manager and kind of runs it all down there. We talked in their conference room, which is beautiful, and we'll talk about that in this episode. We talk about why they moved, more about the company, and everything else. But before we get into this episode, please like, subscribe, and review this podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts. And now I hope you enjoy episode 100 with Jenifer from Vangura. Jenifer, thank you for sitting down in your new showroom for the Pro Series Podcast. This is episode 100, so no pressure on you. Yeah. So tell us about the showroom and why it was so important for Vangura to move here to Fairmont.
So this showroom has been relocated from Bridgeport, West Virginia. That location was just not perfectly centralized for our local dealer network. So I feel that this is just a much better location. We're right between Clarksburg and Bridgeport and Morgantown.
You said that exactly like how the news is this morning. It's so funny. But yeah, this, if anybody's in the West Virginia area, this mall itself is so cool because I was showing people behind our store, there's like a little classroom where you could do like CEUs and teaching events.
Yeah, this is basically the main hub for Fairmont. So everyone around in this area comes here for their local grocery shopping and everything.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about Vangura then. How long have you been working for them?
So I've been working for Vangura for 5 years now. They were founded in 1971, so they've been in business for 52 years now. Family owned and operated. They're still very involved in the business, so it's really a great company to work for.
Yeah, and they're not just like any fabricator. They do a lot more. Tell us, even like what we're sitting at right now, which I was honored to be a part of this design, looks like a quartz or a marble and a waterfall edge. You probably can't see it as much in the video, but it's all true res. Tell us about the product.
Yeah, so true res is truly our bread and butter at Vangura. We have patented different edge profiles in the undermount sink process. Basically, true res is it's half the cost of granite. It's DIY friendly, so it's very easy to install. There's just tons of benefits to true res.
Yeah.
Price point being one of the largest, but
yeah. And just how custom you could just do so much with it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And then, we're sitting here at a satin finish one. I think people are thinking when they think of a laminate countertop, you're thinking of like that, what it was back in the day.
Yes, it's come such a long ways.
Yeah. And like finish wise, just like this is the satin finish where it's a completely smooth, silky finish.
Yep.
Tell us some other finishes they have.
So you can do like the flagstone finish, which is a very textured matte finish. It looks just like a natural stone, similar to like the earth finish that we can do on our granites. They just look identical, but like I said, it's about half the cost.
Yeah. And then when it comes to edge profiles, I think a lot of people think of a laminate countertop where they have the end caps on every end of the kitchen. What does Vangura do?
So at Vangura, we've patented 2 different edge profiles. So at Vangura, we've patented 3 different edge profiles that we call the endless edge. What that means is basically we can wrap that round edge profile all the way around. So like on your islands and any open end, it looks just like granite or quartz. It doesn't look like a typical laminate countertop.
Yeah. And I like how you show it behind us in the showroom where there's like a spring carnival, which is a laminate true res. And then they have the white spring granite right next to it.
Yes, that's a great selling tool just to see it side by side.
Yeah.
People walk in every day and think that it's stone. So
yeah, I mean, for the most part, these laminates now are taken with 4K images and printed onto laminate. So they are like stone.
Literally an HD photograph of the most exotic, perfect stones that they can find. So it's really a great representation of granite.
What's some other products Vangura sells? I mean, a lot of, when you think of fabricators, they're just selling like stone. Like natural or quartz. Like what else does
Yep.
Vangura do?
So we have butcher block, we have glass, stainless steel, decked in, just about any different kind of
Granite.
countertops.
And then granite specifically, there's something I've never seen before is like the 4 different finishes that Vangura does.
Yep. So we are one of the few in the country that can actually do the different finishes. So it's basically a mix between matte, shiny, and textured and smooth. So we can do a combination of those 4.
Yeah. And explain a little bit, like most people think of it as shiny is like the standard, like the bread and butter you see everywhere. And then leathered, what would you call leathered?
So other fabricators typically call that the honed finish, but they have to order those slabs in that way. Everything that we do is done in-house on equipment that's specifically designed to do the different finishes.
Gotcha. And then edge profiles. I've never seen a company that had so many edge profiles. Like you could customize the countertop to look whatever you want.
Definitely. There's 3 different price levels that we have for edges. My favorite is the live edge. It's called the sculptured edge.
So it looks chiseled.
Yep. It's all done by hand.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's into the showroom. You know, we're in the grand opening weekend, today being the first day of the grand opening. What went into the design of the showroom, and like what was like the main thing you wanted to change from Bridgeport to this area?
So I really wanted to feature our True Res product in this market. Like I said, it is our bread and butter because of the price point and the hundreds of colors available. With it also being DIY friendly, you know, we're in West Virginia. Everyone here is very hands-on. They like to do work themselves. So I really wanted to put a focus on that product.
How does that change to the Pittsburgh market?
Definitely, we just want to be more budget conscious in this market.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like more cautious on their extra money that they have.
Sure.
They're not like splurging and stuff.
Yeah.
They're more smart about
We want the look of stone here, but we don't necessarily want to always put that investment into.
And that's kind of like what we're sitting at here. Like if we did this in a natural product or a quartz product, it's going to be...
It'd be like quadrupled the price.
Oh, wow, So how about for the rest of the showroom? So I like how when you came in and you wanted to start the showroom, you kind of made it into like a clockwise rotation of our product here at Vangura.
Yes.
Explain that, and why was that important?
So it was important to me to have a foot pattern that first made everyone aware of True Res, because not everyone is aware of what's available and what it can look like. People think, like you said, of laminate of being just an old, you know, standard laminate top. So I really wanted to let everyone be aware of that first, because some people come in and think that quartz or granite is the only option for them, but True Res is, typically speaking, the best option in this market for a majority of our customers. So just really educating the customer on what's available and showing them what it can look like with the endless edges and the undermount sink was really my main goal for this location.
Yeah. And then going into the very, very back, you have a live kitchen, meaning you could cook. You know, had some cooking stuff this morning. Tell us about that. You have one cool feature that we should probably pop into this podcast at some point.
Definitely.
What is that feature? And it's probably something that no one's ever seen.
So we have the InvisiCook cooktop. It is all induction. It comes through the granite, so you have a completely smooth surface. You can't even see the cooktop in the countertop, which is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
It's very easy to clean. It's quick. It doesn't get hot, so it's very safe. There's just some really great features with it.
Yeah.
It works on natural stone or like a decked in, just not the quartz.
Yes. Okay. And then, I mean, we were playing with it earlier, and the cool thing about it is when you lift off a pot, the alarm kind of goes off.
Yeah, so you know where and when you're lined up. Even though there's nothing on top, it kind of makes you aware of that it's working.
Yeah, there were some customers here earlier talking about how they wanted to get for like their mother-in-law that always keeps their stove on.
Yes.
And they don't want to burn down the house.
Definitely. There's some great safety features.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then when you take it off, there's a rubber mat that protects the countertops from the pot. And that's just not from the heat of it, it's just from the scraping.
Yep, and that's only required with certain cookware. So there are certain pots you can get that you don't have to have any kind of mat at all. Yeah. But just, it's an extra safe.
Yeah. And then in Pittsburgh, the main location for Vangura, they have the kitchen where they have all those amazing cooking events.
The interactive
Will
events.
you be having those events here?
Yep, we'll plan on doing some smaller events here and just cooking classes and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I mean, in this, like we already said, this mall is awesome because you could do the CEUs here and kind of get more of, NKBA down here.
Yeah, that was just about to say. It's nice to have a place to bring in people from NKBA.
Absolutely. And I know the board is really eager to get down here too. So it's glad that we have this type of location and
for
host stuff.
Definitely.
And then going around to the other side of the showroom, which is so impressive. And I think Constantino needs to come in and like see this. They will tonight, but I think like headquarters needs to see what was engineered here. Tell us about that.
I think that we really did a great job displaying our silestone quartz here. It's really great to have such large samples and such a clean display. I think it turned out really nice.
Yes. And then the thing is about this location, I think a lot of fabricators have, the full slab shops to go see.
Yes.
And you have the samples, and people are probably thinking, well, that does me no good. But these samples are huge.
They're huge, and it's consistent, and it's engineered stone. I can sell it and say, this is what you're going to get.
Yes. So. And you use the wall space wisely. So like the big ones, like the Calcatas and the big veining have way bigger samples so you could see everything.
Yep. The large format, we just put in bigger samples, and we have the smaller ones for the pieces that didn't require that, but really turned out nicely.
In the center, you have all these cool True Res like drawers. Tell us about those.
So the True Res, same deal. We really like to show the big, large format patterns so customers get a good idea of what they're going to be getting. So I think that honestly, that's the best displayed laminate in the country, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and it shows a sink too.
Yep.
Where you could see the undermount sink in action, which you have on display, but like it's
nice
cool
to have
see
all
that.
of the models on display.
And then you also have above that the granites.
Yep. So it's nice to be able to show each color and each different finish, so customers.
So
really
it's like the earth, air.
Yep.
Yeah.
Water, earth, wind, fire.
That's awesome. And then the main bread and butter, the thing that I love the most, which was a very big part of, is that reception desk.
Yep. So that was definitely a dream of mine to have that gorgeous backlit marble there, just to kind of show what we're capable of, because even though laminate is our bread and butter in this market, it's nice to really show off our guys' work and what we can do and that we do all the time. It's just not going to be as prevalent in this market, but at least it makes customers aware of what we're capable of.
Oh yeah. And I think my favorite part, well, when we went and started this design process, it was like over a year ago, right? And we wanted something like to just hit you in the face as soon as you come in.
Yep, something impressive.
That in this room.
Yeah.
Like this True Res goes all the way to the ceiling. And it's a waterfall edge here that you probably can't see on camera, and beautiful floors.
Yes.
Which is funny, we were just talking earlier, but this floor was picked first, right? Didn't we pick the
and
floor
then we
first?
kind of built off of that, and the pattern, it's just everything came together so perfectly.
It's so perfect. And then just as soon as you come into this room, or we have all these glass windows in the front, and you're going to come in and see this, and it's just so impressive to see on all three sides, this reception desk and then that massive silestone wall, which is just awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I want to finish off on where people could follow you in the store in Vangura and where you're located.
So I post mainly on our Instagram page, which is just the Countertop Store West Virginia, WV. And we also have a Facebook page, same, the Countertop Store West Virginia. And we are located at 2600 Middletown Commons in Fairmont, West Virginia.
Awesome, Jennifer. So thank you so much for sitting down on my 100th episode. Can't wait to get this out.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you.